Hey, welcome back today to Dale Kramer's Custom Cars and Anything. Um, Lately I've been feeling kind of bad about the south, and people are getting hurt by all that heat, you know. So I'm gonna do something today that's a little different. Today I'm gonna build a homemade air conditioner. And what it is, you need a freezer. And what it is, you need a fan. You need a case of water, 24 16-ounce bottles. So you can freeze this all. This all has to go in the freezer, this water. Then you're going to need some fender washers, 3/16 by 1, 12/24 by 1.25 inch. Machine screws. Pick these up, you can kind of see what they're like. But again, they have to be, 1.25 inch long with a nut on them. I use 12 by 24, 12 size, 24 thread per inch. 3/16 by 1 fender washers. And then you're going to need a water collection device, something that you can collect water in. And then you're going to need a drill. You're going to need a 2 1/8 inch hole saw cutter. And then a 1/4 inch drill bit. And then a, I don't know, what is this, 3/8 drill bit. And a tape measure. And some sort of marking device. And we're going to make ourselves a homemade air conditioner out of this. So eventually what will happen is that you got to freeze all this, though. Get this all froze, this water. Totally ice. And then you're going to be using 12 of these while the other 12 are in the freezer, chilling down. Then you're going to put 12 of them in this bucket. Oh yeah, this bucket you need 2 with a lid, by the way. I forgot that. But these will stand up in the bucket. 12 of them will. 12 16-ounce bottles fit in the bottom of the bucket, standing up. So I'll show you that here in a minute. Well, let's get started by, first of all, the fan. This lid for the bucket has to be the same diameter as the fan, so it fits there. You see what I'm saying? So it's a Honeywell, what I'm using here. And it must be a Honeywell, I don't know what you call that, 11.5 inch, 11 inch, 12 inch, I don't know. But anyway, if I flip this over, and what we'll do is we'll start by taking this disc off, and there's screws in the back of it here. Like right here, there's a hole, and there's 5 of them around it. So you take them out, and then you pull this off, like this. And lay this off to the side for now. And by the way, what kind of fan you're wondering? It would be, okay, it wouldn't be upside down too yet. This is kind of difficult one-handed here. Bear with me. Come on, focus. It doesn't say what kind of fan, but whatever that is. Okay. Well, anyway, let's just get this back up here. Excuse me. Okay. We'll anyway, let's put this thing on pause. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start out by, see this lid for this that snaps on good and tight. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna lay it here. I'm gonna lay it right there. No. Anyway, what's so nice about that size, that fan, we took the lid off it. I explained that earlier. And I got interrupted here, so I had to stop the video for a minute. So I got to kind of gain where I was. Anyway, so that snap-on lid for the bucket, as you can see, this fan fits it almost perfectly. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these screws and these fender washers, and we're gonna bolt this on there. Okay. And as you can see, here's the center of the beacon. Here's the center of the beacon. So the air is going to come through here. Okay. So you can kind of figure by looking at both the air is going to want to push through somewhere in this general vicinity. So we're going to put holes in here yet, in that lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this back off for right now. We know we have to be at the edge of this ring somewhere and then away from the center. So then what we'll do is we'll take this 2 1/8 inch, you could go maybe a little smaller if you want, but I'm going to make several holes, like one here and one here and one here and one here and so forth. I don't want to make too many of them, but I want to make enough so this blade can still push the air through this lid. Okay? So I'm going to put this on pause so I can mark it out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see here, we're going to go over here, get a straight edge. This level will probably work really well. I'm going to drape this across, right through the middle like that, I'm going to draw a line. Like that, right through the middle. Now we're going to turn it again, and we're going to go halfway this way. Okay. Oops. Okay, and then I'm thinking, let's go halfway this way. I don't know if that's going to be too much, but let's just make the lines anyway. So we know we can be even, Steven here. And now let's do one more. One more halfway point here. Okay, so now we got them. Okay. So anyway, I had to put that away. Now, if we look at this, you may want to go smaller on the, 2 1/8 might be about right. Because we gotta have some more meat, that we can mount this thing to our blade cover, like I just explained. So, I'm wondering if we should go smaller. No, let's go every other one. I'm building this as we go along. Let's go every other one. Let's just jump one. Yeah. Yeah. I got an idea though too. We could go this one this big and then go a smaller hole saw there. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Now I'm gonna put this thing on pause. Well, first of all, excuse me. Where do we want to be with the hole? Okay. That's the next question I gotta ask myself. So if that's the center and that's the edge, where do we want to be? Well, if we remember the center section here, like I explained, it's this. The fan blades are a little further out. So blades, the airflow would be somewhere between here and here would be the best airflow. So I think what we're going to want to do I hold the center, if I hold this up here like this, I think 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 1.5 inches on every other one, because I'm only going to put the holes every other one. Oh yeah, and that'll work out good. Inch and a half. Okay, now I'm gonna lay that off this side. Put my cover back on here. There we go. Now, if I lay this out, I always see that bit's in the center of the thing. So now if I lay this out, then you can see about where the hole will be. It'll be right in the direct airflow. Okay, I'm gonna put this on pause. I'm gonna put this in my drill, and I'm gonna drill this out quick. You know, every other one. I'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, I'm back again. And I can see the 4 holes now. They're all even. You know. So, you don't want air rushing through. You want the air to slow down a little bit and chill out. To condense inside the bucket. When we get that far, you understand why. So, alright. Now, what we gotta do, next step is to screw that cover onto the, what we just did here. So, and, yeah, okay. So what we're going to be taking now is we're going to take these 12x24s, an 1.25 inch long, with the fender washers, the 3/16 by 1 fender washers, and we're going to drill holes here, and we're going to mount that together here. So, okay, I'll be back in a second after I do this. Alright, I'm back again. So anyway, those screws that we talked about earlier, okay, I screwed it to the cap, snap-on bucket. But you see how that fits? It fits like it's meant to be on that Honeywell fan. Then I tighten them up, you can see, and I put the studs towards the bucket, away from the fan blades, so the fan blades don't hit them, you know. So now what will happen is, you'll take this unit here, and it'll snap onto the top of the bucket, okay? So, next step we're going to do, we're going to take this fan blade cover, and since the screws, oh shit, let's move some of this here. We can explain a little bit better. Okay, clean up after myself here. Now, these two lower ones right here were for the bottom of the fan. See? So now we're going to take this, lay this back on it. Okay, so we can get them lined up here somehow. Here, I gotta set this down. One-handed just doesn't work. Okay, so now we laid. Okay, now that goes flying. Okay, so now we'll take our screws here, our factory screws. We'll drop them all in the holes here. And then we'll, I know I'm not the I got new equipment to do better videos now. So I'm doing this because people are not surviving down south. And I want people to survive. I gotta pick up these glasses here. But I want people to survive. And so this is just if nobody doesn't have money to buy an air conditioner, at least maybe they can make something or get an idea from me how to do something here to try to cool down. When I hear people passing away because they could have been prevented somehow, I want to jump in, I want to help. Okay? And that's what my channel is about. It's about helping people. Anything from working on cars, to maybe possibly saving a life. I take my cars and I do car cruises. If a kid needs a wheelchair or a family's house burned down and they need supplies and we're trying to raise them some money, that's why I do this. So if people subscribe to my channel, that helps me help everybody else. And at the same time, I may be helping you by smashing that subscribe button. I'm not asking for any more, any less, And maybe you can take this idea and apply it to somebody else, Maybe you can pay it forward, We're all in this thing together, So anyway, what we're doing now is so if you can, please subscribe. That's all I ask. Let's get this tight here. Screws are long. Well, I suppose I gotta support that fan. Okay. Now, we got that back together. Okay, let's tip it up and see what we got. Oh, look at that. Well, see if it blows air. Oh yeah, blows nice amounts of air. Perfect. That's what we want right there. We don't want too much air, and we don't want too much or not enough. So there's enough air fluids going through here. Perfect. Okay. So now in turn, what happened is, here, let's shut this back off. Oop, wrong way. Let's set this over here for now. Now, what'll happen here, this is a brand new bucket. What'll happen here now at the buckets, what happens is that at the bottom of this thing, you can get 6 of these bottles. Now that you have frozen now. You took this whole, let's get that off of there. You took this whole case of water, there's 24 16-ounce bottles, and you froze this whole thing. You took it apart and put each bottle in your freezer. Now they're solid blocks of ice. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take 12 of these out, and you're going to stand them up at the bottom of this. 12 of them fit in here perfectly, stood up. And you want them facing upward. You want this angle upward, So, for example, just to show you, like that. These aren't froze yet. I got 24 of them in the fridge right now, all froze up right now. But they'll stand up in there. So, and all 12 of them will be in here working the unit while 12 of them are still in your freezer. Then when these thaw out, you take these 12 out and you throw them in your freezer, and you take your frozen ones and you put your frozen ones in here again. And if you're thirsty, well, they're drinkable because they're still in sealed bottles. You don't need to open them at any time for any reason. They can stay closed all the time. Even when they're in the freezer, they will not explode. So, but you got to make sure the lids are tight on them. Make sure that when you freeze them, stand them up. If you can lay them on their side, but I ain't going to guarantee nothing. But so anyway, 12 of them will stand up in there, facing upward like this. So you got this angle, facing downward. Okay? Or upward, pardon me, not downward. So now we got a bucket. So what do we do with this? Well, this will eventually now snap on the top of that barrel. You see what I'm saying? Now this is going to force air down into the bucket. And it's going to put it across those bottles. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to take the hole saw cutter, the same one, the 2 1/8 inch, this thing, and then put it back in my drill, and put it in the drill, and we're going to drill holes. Well, what we want is we want the holes, maybe, I'm going to guesstimate right now, probably about an inch from the bottom. Okay, well, let's go 1.25 inches. So the hole saw, when we're done drilling, it's going to be like 1.25 inches above the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but okay. So I'm going to put it on pause. I'm going to put a few holes in this. Okay. Talk to you in a minute. All right. So now I got the fan sitting on top of the bucket. I haven't even snapped it down. It actually seals really good. So I don't even know if you have to snap it down. And I have it running. And I have air blowing out the holes. Now I put holes, you got to put them off the bottom because this thing's going to condense water, and I'll show you that in a minute. We'll get that far again, but let's don't get ahead of ourselves. So I put 4 2 1/8 inch holes in it. Okay. Now I got 5 holes in this cover. Okay. But you want less holes coming out of it so the air slows down. I even thought maybe just leaving 3 in the bottom, but I'm going to try 4. There's pretty good airflow coming out of all 4 of them. It slowed it down though, but that's actually good. 3 probably would have been sufficient, but I went with 4. And again, you got to make sure they're off the bottom. Like, how far did I go off the bottom here? Yeah, I went about 1 inch off the bottom. About 1 inch, if you see there. So, okay. So we got her that far. It even sounds like an air conditioner. Okay. I'll be back again. But again, 4 holes. Every quarter of the bucket, you could see. Then there's one behind there yet that you can't see, but anyway, that's kind of whole picture of it so far. Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute. Alright, I'm back again. I guess I lied to you guys earlier. I only put 4 holes, in that lid that we put together on the fan. Okay? So then I only put 3 holes in the bucket. So if I flip this over, you can see that there's only 3 holes in there. And again, they got to be 1 inch off the bottom. Because the condensation water is going to end up at the bottom of this thing. And you wonder, well, how am I going to drain that? Well, that same drill bit that you drilled through the holes to put those bolts in, you take that drill bit. Now, okay. So I got a hole, let's see, hole here, I got a hole here, and I got a hole there, and I don't have a hole here. every quarter except for right here. Because again, you want to slow down the air so it condenses on the ice cold bottles. Okay? So now what you want to do is where normally you would have had a hole here like these big ones, you flip this over and you drill a hole right here on the side of the bucket on the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to drill that. Now you probably can't see it, but now there's a hole in the bucket there, Liza. There, Liza. There. Okay? That's your condensation hole. So now what you're going to